And we are recording.
Is like 54 a good clap point?
Yeah, it seems like...
Recording started.
Yes, 54 seems like a good point.
Will you be able to wipe out some of my snuffles and coughs if I don't catch them?
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
As long as they don't lead too closely into you saying anything. I usually cut out, like, gaps and stuff anyway. So, yeah, any, like, big noises or anything. God, I'm just like, I want to, the autism, it's just, I want to keep talking about everything forever. I want to make, like, I'm not good at, like, finding clips for stuff, but one day I will make the Sephiroth and Superman having the same voice for 15 minutes straight video where I just swap their clips.
Comes the
Okay,
clap.
here we come.
Alrighty.
Okay. Alright, I gotta stretch in my chair, because I forgot to do that a minute ago. Stretching it. For some reason I've been, like, sleeping in such a way, like, I think I need more better pillows, because my shoulders and neck and shit are bugging the shit out of me. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all things above and in between. I am one of your hosts, Obsessive Reader Love, and I am joined, as always, by...
I'm Loreweaver.
And I am Teddy.
And this is the 10th episode of the Own Tempo Pokemon Podcast. Louder than usual air horns, because it's the 10th entire episode.
Oh
right.
wow! You should see the peaks on my audio file there when I just did that. Holy crap!
So we're talking about Gen 10 today, obviously.
Yes, indeed. Please give us a couple more years. I swear.
I hope it's a couple more years before we get Gen 10.
Yeah,
please.
I hope so.
Please,
we
please,
are
Game
2
Freak.
years out from the release of Scarlet and Violet,
And
so
it feels so good.
yeah, like we haven't heard anything. But
We still don't know when
if,
ZA is coming out.
if the old pattern holds, we'll have news about Gen 10 at the start of next year. But I hope the pattern doesn't hold.
Just wait.
There's
Give us
1,025 of these fuckers. We can wait a little bit.
Yeah,
fine.
like spend all of your time on ZA, make it the best fucking video game ever made, and we'll be okay. Everybody will be very happy with you. Anyway, so today we are not talking about as of yet released generations of Pokemon. We are talking about one of the other starters that we can't talk about in like a serialized format because he's his own special thing. The star of the anime and Pokemon Yellow. We're talking about Pikachu today. And we're not just talking about Pikachu, we're talking about all of his cousins too. So this is going to be a long-ass episode, which is why we saved it for number 10. And yes, we will be talking about his partner in crime, Eevee, next episode.
Yeah, we've got a whole evolution episode.
For a
coming up.
moment, I was thinking, how can we dedicate a whole episode to Eevee? But then I remembered it turns into like 8 things.
Indeed.
There are almost as many Eevees as there are Pikachus.
Yep. So, today we will be talking about all of the different little Pikachus, little rodent guys in generation order. There's not a ton to say about them, which is why we feel comfortable cramming in 9 guys in, like, 10 maybe, if we count Pichu as well, and Raichu. So, like, we got a lot of guys. But there's not a ton to say about some of them, so we hopefully will not have, like, it won't be a 2-hour episode because some of us do not have 2 hours to talk about Pikachu today. But we're going to do our best. So we're going to start with the man himself. fucking Pikachu, fucking icon, fucking I love this guy. If anybody comes to me and says Pikachu's overrated and dumb, I will punch them in the face. Pikachu's perfect. He's glorious.
Pikachu is fantastic, but it's impossible for him to not be a little overrated considering the saturation with which we have experienced Pikachu over the last
It's like saying Mario is overrated. He's the icon.
Mario is overrated.
Well, I don't see things that way. He's literally the branding for me, and I love
Mario.
Pokemon.
Mario is the Mickey Mouse of Pokemon, which I wonder. Mario's the Mickey Mouse, but Mario's the Mickey Mouse of video games, which makes me wonder what Pikachu is in that Disney dynamic.
Probably he's like. Well, okay, so he's like the mascot of the company associated with it. So he's like Woody Toy Story. Or like the lamp.
I can kind of see that.
Like the fucking Pixar lamp or some shit.
So the thing that I like about Pikachu is that it's a funny little forest rat.
Yes, so it's very interesting. I mentioned Eevee a minute ago. Originally, Pikachu's partner in crime was supposed to be Clefairy. Originally Clefairy was supposed to be the guy in charge of everything, but they were like, no, it's a little too gendered. It's a little too pink for the boys we want to play this game. So they gave us Pikachu instead. And I honestly, look, I love Clefairy. Clefairy's great, very iconic Pokemon. But, like, Pikachu's so fucking iconic. Like,
yeah.
It's so simple, but it's got exactly the right amount of fantastical features. And, like, obviously, the fact that Pokemon has been a thing for my entire life, and I've, like, never known a world without Pikachu in it, basically, is definitely affecting
you're only,
the fact...
like, 27, aren't you?
Yes, I turned 28 in 2 months. It's honestly terrifying that I am almost 30.
Yeah, I wish I were almost 30.
Anyway, so it's very difficult for me to imagine a world where Pikachu, like, doesn't exist and isn't the most iconic thing in my life, basically. I played the shit out of Pokemon Yellow. I spent my entire fucking life, basically, waiting for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee to come out, and when everybody was like, oh, this is a stupid baby game for babies, meanwhile, I was just being like, yes, let's fucking go, we got it! Fucking Pokemon Yellow remakes, let's fucking go!
And then they gave Pikachu the most overpowered moves you could imagine.
Unless you were playing the Eevee one instead, because the Eevee is more busted than Pikachu, just because type coverage. But, you know, like...
I just meant as individual moves.
Yeah, I fucking love Let's Go, honestly. I still want Let's Go Johto. I want Let's Go Meryl and Let's Go Apom or something.
Hey, if I don't get to pick Cyndaquil in my Gen 2 game, I'm gonna riot.
You're gonna be able to get one across as part of the story. You're gonna be able to get all of them. Relax.
So, here's something I think is interesting about Pikachu's brand saturation, is that in Red and Blue and Green, you're very likely to go through the whole game never having seen a wild Pikachu.
It's true. It's very rare. Although if you
it's
go
less
to
rare than
the
it
power
would have been.
plant, yeah, if you go to the power plant, they're fairly common there. But I never went to the power plant as a kid. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know the power plant existed as a kid.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you go ahead.
And Pikachu is a 1 in 20 or 1 in 25 encounter rate in Viridian Forest.
And that was only because someone snuck it in.
Really?
Wait, really?
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah. And I don't have an exact source, but in an interview, one of the programmers said that you could only catch Pikachu in the early game in Viridian Forest because it was his favorite, so he snuck it into the encounter table.
Aw.
That's so fun. I love the stuff about...
That was the correct decision, by the way.
Yes. 5% in Red and Blue and Fire Red Leaf Green. It's a very rare little guy, and it's very interesting. It's very iconic, and it's in a lot of like the in-universe branding, even in games where you cannot catch it. Like in Heart Golden's, like you will see Pikachu everywhere in Johto. You cannot get a Pikachu anywhere in Johto. You can like get a Pichu sometimes, but like it depends on the game and like not often.
But yeah, sorry, just to circle on my point again, I find it really interesting that it doesn't start getting described as a forest creature until like after Yellow in Stadium. Before then, it's just like, yeah, this thing lives in and around buildings and chews on wires and shit.
It's a mouse. It's a rat.
Yeah.
I fucking love rats. You know me. I'm BFFs with Zay, King of Rats. So I fucking adore all rodents, which is part of the reason why I fucking love every single Pikachu understudy. Stunt double.
Understudy's a good term for them. I like that.
And to be clear, right?
I
love
crew.
Pikachu, but I also love Raichu. I fucking love Raichu. He's a big chungus. I fucking love him. He's so good.
Raichu's great.
His big ass like wire tail is so good. He looks like an excellent like evolution on the concept of Pikachu. He's very solid, and he's honestly fairly iconic to people who are like my age, because we grew up watching the anime, and so we got to see Raichu kick the shit out of Pikachu and then get his shit kicked in return every single fucking episode of the show.
That was an iconic episode
because it was in the fucking opening of the show, and it was which is awesome. I fucking love Raichu. He's awesome. And then, like, they would reference that episode again in a couple of future seasons. Most notably, in my memory, it got referenced a couple of times in Sinnoh, which was very fun and interesting. And then, of course, we have Alolan Raichu, my fucking beloved.
Pancake.
Look at this fucking... What?
I think
Eat a funny
it's cute
pancake.
that it's...
Eat a funny
Yes.
malasada.
He's so fucking squishy. There's no reason he should be this squishy except like pancakes. And they were like, no, it's because pancakes. And we were like, sure, I don't care because he's so perfect.
I like Alolan Raichu, but I like OG Raichu better.
They're both so perfect to me. Like, I'm a biased source. I'm gonna fucking gush about every single one of these things and every Pokemon in general, to be honest. But I fucking love Alolan Raichu. It's like the fucking surfboard thing. Mwah.
That's great.
The squishability of him in comparison to like how regular Raichu is all sharp edges. Mwah. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It really shows like sort of the evolution in like design principles to a certain degree as well, which is kind of fun. But like in a way that really, really accentuates how cool both regular Raichu and Alolan Raichu are. I love the fucking whipped cream on his paws. He's so cute. He triggers my cute aggression. I swear to God, I use him every single time. He's so good. Like, an electric psychic is a fun type. It's just fun. He's just cool.
And then there's the sadly omitted Gorochu, which, from what we've seen of the limited bits we've seen of it, which is just its back sprite, it would have been a little bit more ornate and a little bit fuzzier. Pretty cool.
Of course, without Gorochu, we have Pichu instead of a 3-stage evolution where Raichu evolved. We have a baby. We have Pichu the baby.
And he was almost even babier.
I know.
He was so
all the babies
round.
were almost so much babier. It's wild. I love Pichu. I love the ones from the animated shorts. Those little fucking scamps. They get up to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, from the early movies. Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, the Pichu brothers, baby. And I fucking love. I love that you want it. Like, you might want to raise a Pichu versus a Pikachu, and you gotta weigh your options because Pichu gets Charm and Nasty Plot, which are both like solid moves to have on your Pikachu.
But also,
like,
sadly, Pikachu is so Raichu isn't so fragile that Nasty Plot is never useful, but Pikachu is.
Yeah, I mean, you got to consider, when do you want to evolve your Pikachu, and like what moves do you want it to learn, and do you want to raise it from Pichu to get Nasty Plot, and like all these other things. I once from the when in Chugga Conroy's Pokemon Platinum Let's Play, he discussed how, like, you would think that they would make the mascot easier to use, but, more simple to use, but actually it's cool that he's got, like, so many options, because he's, the guy everybody thinks of, so it's like, oh.
So here's something I didn't know. When you were talking about Nasty Plot, I went in my head, oh, what about Volt Tackle? That's a physical move. And I went to go check Pikachu's stats. It's got a higher attack stat than special attack.
It does, in fact. And Raichu, upon evolution these days, gets Thunder Punch. He's a mixed boy. It's very interesting. That actually comes up, like, a shocking amount in the anime. In Gen 4 especially, because, like, he does Iron Tail a lot, and, like, he was a big Volt Tackling guy for a while. Raichu has even attack and special attack.
Yeah, 90s.
And then, like, obviously Alolan Raichu trades a little bit of its attack for special attack. It's very interesting. He's a very versatile guy for such an iconic boy, which I personally like. I think that it makes sense for that to be the case. Okay, I gotta blow my nose here, guys. 1 second.
Mm-hmm. What if you edited in a Pokemon cry there? Something I find really interesting about Pikachu, and it's sort of the ways its design shifted over time, is I think something changed about, at the very least, the Japanese platonic ideal of a rodent.
That might be true, yeah, I hadn't
Because
thought
it happened to
about that.
Hamtaro as well.
Oh my god, you're right, now that
Really?
I'm thinking
Oh,
about
yeah,
Hamtaro.
it did.
Yeah,
It happened to Hamtaro in
used
a
to
more
be
extreme
orbular.
way.
Like, Hamtaro used to be so orbular,
So round.
and now he's like shaped very much like Pikachu is these days.
It's pushed farther with Hamtaro. Like, I can look at Pikachu and be like, yay! I look at new Hamtaro and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Okay, I clearly have not seen new Hamtaro. Hold
Look
on
up
while I look at this up,
Hamtaro.
because like I'm thinking of Hamtaro from like the mid 2000s. What the hell did they do to Hamtaro?
How do I look at Hamtaro Modern? Like, ugh. Yeah, Hamtaro Modern.
This is the Hamtaro I'm aware of. I don't see.
Okay, here.
I
Let me
don't
give you
see
a
any.
link, and you can be surprised.
Oh no, both of those read as Hamtaro.
Oh, wow.
To me. Both of
Oh,
those read
wow.
It's what.
That's
like,
not my Hamtaro.
I do
Well, I
not
don't-
like the newer Hamtaro very much.
This is like I see Hamtaro in both of those, because I like the Hamtaro that I remember looks like the one in the Game Boy games. Like neither of those are the Hamtaro that I'm aware of.
It's like the
Yeah,
middle
there's
stage.
there's an in between Pikachu shaped Hamtaro
Yeah.
that is what I was thinking of. But
like
what
this
the
is
hell
this
is that
Hamtaro.
one on the right?
Yeah, that's Hamtaro. Yeah, and then like the later Hamtaro, when the body is smaller than the entire head, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's super weird.
But
That
yeah,
body is ear sized.
But yeah, something must have changed about the general societal platonic ideal of a rodent, because it happened to Hamtaro and Pikachu.
Very strange, very interesting. So in Gen 3, we got a pair of cheerleaders that most people do not think about most of the time, but I fucking love Plusle and Minun. I've always liked Plusle and Minun.
Here's something nobody's going to expect from me. They're my second favorite Pikaclones.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
How
like
come?
I love Plusle and Minun. They're so cute, and their gimmick is so weird, and I would never ever use one.
I have,
But I
used
love them.
I've used them a couple of times in the game, because like you get access to a bunch of electric types all at once. Like you get access to fucking Plusle, Minun, Electrike all on one route in Gen 3.
Yeah.
And I would always go for the rodent because I fucking love Pikachu.
Because
so
of the
I was
power
like,
plant
yeah, let's.
nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never
it's very
connected
fun.
those dots.
Yeah, it's very fun and cute, and their abilities are not good, but I don't care because like plus and minus are not very good abilities, but I don't actually care
They
because
made them
they're
better
just
later, at least.
yeah, they're just fun. They're just neat and fun, and I like them. Like it's such an interesting idea to have okay, how do we iterate on this Pikachu thing? Let's go with electrons and positive and negative charges, and I'm like, oh my god, that's brilliant. And
Protons.
Electrons are the thing that makes the electricity, obviously. It's presence or absence of electrons that make positive or negative charge. I mean, the protons make the positive charge, but it's defined by the. Anyway, the nerding aside, I fucking in the anime they were always really fun. They were in the Deoxys movie, and they're just cheerleaders. They're just they've got the helping hand thing going on, and they also show up with Pokemon Ranger and stuff. You get whichever one matches the color of your gender. It's in the original Pokemon Ranger, if I remember correctly. And they're just helping you out. They're just here to cheer. And I fucking love cheerleaders. They're just their vibes are immaculate. They're just good. They're just cheery and helpful, and I like them.
They are delightful.
They could have.
They are very nakedly Pikaclones. That it's incredibly obvious that they were trying to replicate Pikachu's success, and they never have. Especially not with Plusle and Minun. But, yeah, it was a pretty naked attempt to do so.
I feel like all of the Pikaclones are, in a way, iconic in their own, generations and in their own games. I think of Plusle and Minun when I think of Gen 3, to a certain extent. They feel very much like mascots of Hoenn, to a certain extent. And I think that they encapsulate a lot of the stuff that they were playing around with in Gen 3, double battles and the contrasting storylines and everything. And also they don't actually look that much like Pikachu other than in the face, and sort of body, their body shape is fairly different. They kind of got this fucking.
They look like somebody
Metabots?
wearing a knockoff Pikachu costume.
I think it was around
so.
Gen 4 that people really started to be noticing a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, my best friend in high school, her online handle is actually a reference to Minun, so that's fun.
Oh,
That
fun.
is very fun, yes. Speaking of Gen 4, speaking of world champion Pachirisu, nobody really everybody was very derisive about Pikaclones for a long time. It was always it's so boring. And then fucking Pachirisu won the world championship, and now everybody's like, oh yeah, I fucking love Pikaclones. As they should, to be honest. I've always loved Pachirisu because Dawn has one in the anime, and it's a fucking gremlin. It's just the most chaotic fucking creature on the face of the earth. It's running around crazy, using discharge on everything. It's just like a fucking gremlin. I love it so much.
I've never liked Pachirisu. Maybe it's because I hate Gen 4 so much, but...
One day you will play Platinum. I swear to God, we're going to make it happen. I swear to God.
Hey, listen, I got slots open on my Patreon.
Oh God, wait, I have money now. I can make that happen. I can make it happen. Oh God, but I need to save up for my vehicle. Fuck.
Save up for your vehicle.
Fuck. All right.
I'll take blame for this temptation.
Anyway, I fucking love Pachirisu, and lore is, as always, incorrect.
I feel like
I am eminently correct, and obviously correct.
Yeah. I feel like people's assumptions about the general pattern of the electric rodents being relatively weak made a lot of people overlook its traits. So, kind of made sense that it was unexpected when a guy playing competitive was like, now hang on a second, this thing slots in perfectly for this element of the metagame.
Indeed.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I believe its deal was that there was a perfect storm of things it could defend against and things that were likely for it to face.
Yeah.
And also, it was a very, not a lot of stuff gets follow me, and it got follow me. And that's like, it's like
And
so
nuzzle.
important. Yes, follow me and nuzzle at the same time is genuinely fucking insane.
Along with
And,
like
Volt-
a workable special defense stat.
yeah,
let's go.
Like
When did
so-
Pachirisu get Nuzzle? Was it Gen 6?
Gen 6 is when Nuzzle was introduced, yes.
Yeah.
Nuzzle is a crazy move, by the way.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's just associated with these guys for obvious reasons, and it's just a really good move. It's, like, genuinely just like, oh, okay, it's a Thunder Wave I can use if I've been taunted.
It's a fully accurate Thunder Wave that deals damage.
Yeah, it's like,
The
goddamn.
Corgi gets it. What the hell's the name of the Corgi in Gen 8?
Yamper.
Yamper. Yeah, I love Yamper.
Who's, like, sort of almost a Pikaclone. He's, like, an early game electric type. He's, like, related.
It and
let me
Toxel
act-
shook hands and said, neither of us are Pikaclones, and they nodded to
Yes.
each other.
Toxel also gets Nuzzle. So
Toxel's such a weird little thing. It's like a electric lizard baby.
yeah.
I hate
so it's-
Toxel. Love Toxtricity. Hate Toxel.
So yeah, Yamper and Toxel are like shaking hands / paws with, let's just get Nuzzle, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Pachirisu, pretty cool. I like its colors.
Its colors are very nice.
There are
it's like,
elements I don't fully jive with on its design, but, you know, that's a symptom of just design sensibility shifting over time.
I like it shiny.
White squirrels are like a whole thing in like various parts of the world. There's mutations for like white squirrels that are more common in certain areas, and so like a bunch of places have like apparently been at war basically about who gets to be the official home of white squirrels. They're like a whole thing, and I like squirrels in general. They're weird fucking creatures. Like there's a big ass tree in my backyard, and sometimes there will be squirrels just running across it, and it's very funny. But sometimes one will just like the one that I guess owns this joint will like sit on one of the cut off like nubbins and will just start making noises. You don't think about the noises that squirrels make most of the time, but they make some weird ass noises. It's a very strange situation, and I find them fascinating. And also, I just like their floof. I like a floofy individual.
There's an Aussie in the community who came to visit America like a few months back, I think. And one of her goals was to see a squirrel, because they don't have them in Australia.
Yeah.
She really, really wanted to see squirrels. She loves squirrels. She'd never seen one in person before.
It's not a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, because you're not going to see a squirrel in a zoo, right?
Yeah. You gotta.
It's too common and basic a critter.
And small and good at escaping and responsible for a shocking amount of power outages. Like most of the power outages in the US are actually caused by fucking squirrels. It's wild. Like they just gnawing on shit, man. Rodents, they be chewing.
Every Pachirisu is an isekai squirrel. You heard it here.
That's perfect. That's wonderful. So Emolga is my favorite Pikaclone.
Emolga's my third favorite. I love Emolga.
Emolga, I fucking love this annoying little piece of shit. It's such a fucking menace. It's just like, hi, yes, I will be spamming Volt Tackle at you. Thank you. Or not
Wait,
Volt
it
Tackle,
gets
Volt
Volt
Switch.
Tackle?
I meant Volt Switch. I will
Okay.
be spamming Volt Switch and Aerial Ace and just being faster than you and throwing Electro Balls everywhere.
103 speed?
Yeah, it's the fast one of the, like, every Pikaclone, sort of like how every Eevee has, like, a stat it sort of specializes in a little bit, other than Pikachu, who's just kind of an all-rounder, and Plusle and Minun, who didn't really know what they were doing yet. All of them have, like, sort of vibes that they try to do. Like, Pachirisu's got special defense, Emolga is the fast one, Dedenne has HP, Togedemaru's like the physically defensive one. Morpiko's got like attack, and then Palmy and its line are also like physical attack because they're fighting type.
Weird that they did 2 squirrels in a row.
Well, obviously, flying squirrels are not really a thing. What people consider to be flying squirrels are actually not rodents.
They're sugar
The
gliders,
sugar
right?
gliders
Yeah.
are not, are something separate. I don't even actually know what sugar gliders are.
So do you think Emolga is a sugar glider, or do you think it's meant to be a squirrel based on the perception of a flying squirrel?
Yeah, it's clearly meant to be, it's the Ellis squirrel Pokemon. So, or the Sky Squirrel Pokemon, excuse me. Ellis Squirrel is Pachirisu, I think. Yeah, Ellis Squirrel is Pachirisu.
So we should talk about Gen 5 a little and what the hell went on there.
I fucking love Gen 5.
Gen 5's great.
Everybody
Love that gen.
fucking...
It's good.
Everybody loves Unova. Everybody loves Unova. It's so good. It's so important.
There was a lot of backlash. I love Gen 5. Like, I think Black 2 and White 2 are better for various reasons, but Black and White are great.
Oh, yeah.
But the big elephant in the room is the replacement for Pokemon, where they deliberately made it, because it was the first Pokemon game in a mainline Pokemon game in a foreign land. They deliberately made it so that there were no recurring Pokemon. They designed 151 brand new Pokemon.
And it ruled.
It ruled.
A lot of people were angry at the time, but now looking back, almost everyone is like, no, this is actually pretty sick.
And that the thing that Emolga is really emblematic of is that, for the most part, the stuff that's supposed to be a counterpart to the Japanese Pokemon, because a lot of them are just, hey, let's make something that's the Japanese Pokemon but America flavored. For the most part, those counterparts are very creative and interesting.
Like, Gigalith does not actually feel that similar to Golem, and it's not even the same type. Conkeldurr and Machamp feel very different.
I love Conkeldurr.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Teddy.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the flesh ponytail.
It's a concrete elder. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, but I respect his design. I think it's like a very, very interesting way to go about things. I think it's very fun that he's got his fucking concrete walking sticks that he uses to fucking beat the shit out of people. That's great. That's wonderful.
Lillipup is a very, very interesting take on the regional rodent.
Well, I mean, we've got Patrat. So, Patrat exists. Patrat is the Rattata. Lillipup is something else, and it's just better.
Here's my hot take. Lillipup is... hold on. My brain is braining.
Lillipup is so memorable that I forgot about
Lillipup is like Nidoran.
Yeah, that actually
actually
works. That's actually completely correct. Holy shit.
I like that.
It even has a sand ability, so that it works in sandstorms. That's actually genius. What the hell? Teddy, you're so fucking smart.
Yeah, that's very good.
I was just thinking about, its general body type and kind of when and how it appears, and,
Yeah, the only other thing that would, equate to Nidoran would be, I'm trying to think of, other stuff that shows up. Because I feel like the monkeys might sort of almost equate to Nidoran, but they're something else entirely.
Oh, we missed out on their beta designs for the monkeys.
Oh,
they were fat.
Remind me,
They
does
were fat when
Pidove
they evolved. Does Pidove
evolve into Unpheasant?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like Unpheasant as a Pidgeot equivalent, but Pidove's great.
I think Pidove's great. The unfortunate situation with Pidove is that its stats are wrong for the moves it learns. It only learns special flying type moves, and its special attack is garbage.
Oh.
But if you can teach it a physical flying type move, it's like a perfectly respectable guy. You just in Pokemon Rejuvenation, you get a Pidove. They have Shadow Pokemon in that game, and you get a Shadow Pidove that comes with Hone Claws and Hypnosis and dual wing beat. So it's like out of the box, you're like, okay.
You have to wait until level 66 to get Sky Attack on it?
Ugh.
Yeah.
It gets
Gen 5, everybody.
It gets 4 physical moves in its default. We are way off topic.
We are. It's true.
We're all looping back to how Emolga is a very creative take on the Pikaclone.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's different while being recognizably the Pikachu counterpart.
Yes, it's the first dual type one, which they decided to do for the rest of them going forward because they were like, actually, no, yeah, it makes sense if we're going to try and make these guys distinct to try and give them other types. And Emolga being an electric flying type, electric flying is just a really good type in general. It doesn't have a ton of weaknesses. It hits a lot of different stuff.
It's just rock and ice, right?
Yep, and it's just an annoying little bugger. Emolga is so fucking good at what
electric
it does.
Flying is flying type with more resistances and another stab type.
Yeah, basically. Because electric does not... electric only has one weakness, and flying cancels it out. So it's like, hell yeah. It's like Emolga sitting on top of Zapdos being like, fear us.
I also appreciate...
there's an image.
I appreciate that when they were basically given the opportunity, let's do Pikachu again. They did Pikachu again. As in, they did Gen 1 Pikachu again. Where you can tell they liked it, but they weren't over-centralizing it in a way that would, make you tired of it, because you know that a lot of developers' first impulses, a lot of publishers' first impulses is, let's, our mascot that kind of exploded into being the game's mascot in popularity, let's make its equivalent be, over-centralized. Everyone will love it. No, Emolga's there for a cool boss fight and available, but it's not look at Emolga.
Yeah, you kind of have to seek out Emolga. It's a rare guy that you have to find in Rustling Grass, so you can get one from a trade. It's it's not a guy that you see everywhere, but you want one because Elisa kicks your ass with it, and that
it's also the first time you see Volt Switch, which is such a ludicrously good competitive move.
Yeah, it's like Elisa walks in, you walk into Elisa's gym and she's like, "Hello, I will be using a competitively viable move," and then just fucking slams you with this speedy ass squirrel that can't be hit with ground type attacks, which you would expect to work, and you would just be like, and then these two fucking squirrels just double team you and smack the shit out of you, and then she brings in once you finally manage to whittle them down, she brings in her fucking horse. And it can flame charge you, and it's like, what the fuck am I? What the fuck? I love this. I love her. She's great. She's doing so good.
Wait, does she really have 2 Emolgas?
In the first Black and White, she does. In Black and White 2, they replaced one with a Flaffy because they had more options. But it's actually really interesting. In Gen 5, you will not see a gym leader have a Pokemon that you do not have access to yet. Because there are other electric types, but other than the ones that Elisa has, but those are the only ones you have access to at that point.
I think that might actually be a little bit of a mistake. And we can skip over a lot of the detail because we've talked about it before, but one of the reasons Cynthia is so memorable is that she opens with a Pokemon, you don't know what it is, you don't know how to deal with it, and nothing works. Nothing you try works. And that makes for a very memorable and mysterious fight impression.
That's
and I
true.
think more you can't get Onix or Geodude by the time you face Brock, for example.
That's true, but also please note, Emolga, you can get Emolga when you get to Nimbasa, and you're not likely to have run into it because it's a Rustling Grass encounter. So you can get it it's at the same amount of time. So you're not likely to have seen Emolga around when you actually run into it, and so it's like, holy shit, I want one of those because it kicks your ass.
Oh my god! Quick Attack, Pursuit, Aerial Ace, Volt Switch. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad Pursuit is gone.
I mean, Pursuit's a good move. It's
Pursuit is a feel bad move. Pursuit feels bad to get hit with, and it feels bad to whiff with.
Yeah, to a certain degree, but like that's kind of just competitive stuff in general, to be honest. Like if you play competitive gaming in any way, it's just like I feel bad.
Pursuit's power is like 20 if it whiffs and 120 if it hits, right?
No, it's like 40 if it whiffs and 80 if it
Yeah,
hits.
it was only 80. Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
Fair enough.
So
Antennae.
what was I about? There are some other examples. Like you are not guaranteed to have run into a drill burr, let alone an excadrill, by the time you fight Clay, because that's also something that you have to seek out.
So many Pokemon that are just hit after hit in Gen 5.
Gen 5 is such a good fucking Pokedex.
Drillbur and
It's so good.
Excadrill. Oh my god, they're
It's
so good.
It's so fucking good.
Excadrill, is Excadrill still a menace in singles?
Yes. In our draft league, where we're doing, me and Teddy are in a new season of draft league. The Pokemon are ranked in tiers, right? And you can only have one S tier. And Excadrill's an S tier, along with like Blaziken and Meowscarada and Volcarona and shit like that. Like Excadrill's a menace.
Smogon banned Excadrill to Ubers for a while, right?
Yeah, no, this fucking Sandforce is very good, Sandrush very good, both very good abilities, and like in Gen 5, when weather was permanent, if you set it up with an ability, like, it was busted to shit. Like, they had to nerf weather probably because of Excadrill.
Do you ever think about the people that look at the Pokemon name Dedenne and think, Deden?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was for years.
I'm so sorry.
To be fair, it's the France region.
Yeah.
People are probably expecting, like, a Deden, which sounds
but then they'll
French.
say Vivillon for some reason.
Yeah,
And then I want to strangle them.
It's like people know how a French accent is supposed to work, but they don't know any French words. So it's like they don't know Vivian is based on Papillon.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dedenne's a fun little guy.
I really like his little antenna whiskers with the...
Yeah, it's a very fun design choice, and he and Pikachu in the anime, like, talk by fucking electricitying at each other, and it's, like, very fun and cute. He's got his little electric cord tail that he's holding in his fucking official art. It's like, oh my god. He's a little bulky boy. He's got his HP stat real high, and he's got parabolic charge.
Real high.
I mean, 67 isn't that high.
Okay, that's
he's
so weird.
almost as fast as Emolga, too.
That's wild. Okay, I misunderstood his stats. He always seems like a bulky guy because he's got cheek pouch. And like I always see him as like a guy who like fucking is bulky as shit.
If
but
Dedenne had a lot of health, we'd be singing a whole different tune. Its moveset is built as if it's going to be bulky as shit.
Yeah, that's the situation.
Because it gets like Draining Kiss and Parabolic Charge.
And Rest and Snore. It's like... It's clearly supposed to be the bulky guy, but they only have so much stats to work with, and they don't want it to be too slow, I guess.
Maybe when we get Unova Dedenne, it'll be fat like Americans or something.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. That would be funny. I mean, like, we don't know what the hell they're gonna call the Colosian forms or whatever when we do ZA. We'll have to spend some time at the end of the episode just like what mega evolutions do you want in ZA, and just like all the list all
I
of
want
our
unexpected
desires.
ones for Pokemon that no one cares about. Mega Luminion.
Mega...
I mean, to be fair, every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon.
I meant no one in the
fucking
colloquial sense.
Yeah, I fucking love Luminion. I would fucking die about a Mega Luminion.
It could be like a big neon sign.
That would be funny. That would be funny. That would be so good. Anyway, Togedemaru is...
Well, no, hang on. I have a Dedenne story. Well, a brief one.
Yeah, go for it.
I got a Dedenne when I was playing X and Y years ago when it first came out. And then I never saw one again until the Gen 8 DLC, Isle of Armor, had it. And I'm walking along a beach. I'm like, oh, hey, I wonder what new Pokemon are here. Hey, it's a Dedenne. That's not what Dedenne looks like. Got into the battle. The first Dedenne I saw was a shiny.
That's very funny. That's extremely funny. And shiny Dedenne, notably, excellent colors. It's fucking chocolate flavor.
Chocolate brown.
The only thing that disappoints me about Dedenne is that it is one of the fairy types that I do not think it doesn't have enough in it that makes it a fairy. Like, give me a dex entry about how it tricks, like, about how it phone freaks, or how it, like, plays tricks on people by sending electric signals to their devices or something. You know?
Oh wait, hold on. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It sneaks into people's homes and steals electricity from their outlets. When your electric bill seems off, it's the handiwork of this rascal.
So it just plugs itself in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind, that rules.
Which I mean, like, technically speaking, every electric rodent can do that, but, like, he's got the electric plug tail,
he steals electricity.
where he just, like, plugs himself
in. Do you think Dedenne would steal cable if he could?
Absolutely.
Maybe,
Dedenne gets plus. What has minus in Gen 6 that's its counterpart?
They don't always do that. I think more things have plus than have minus.
Yeah, and
actually.
plus plays nice with plus or minus now, so.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah,
Double Dedenne team and competitive.
Mm-hmm. Dedenne and Traxtricity both have plus. Let me look at minus. Okay, so
Dedenne logging onto my unsecured Wi-Fi and pirating movies.
So yeah, low-key Toxtricity has minus, and amped up Toxtricity has plus, which is cute. And then they gave the Mareep line plus and the Electrike line minus, and then Klinklang has both. And then Dedenne has plus. There's no counterpart to Dedenne.
They really used up one of Klinkling's slots to make sure it had both plus and minus.
Both of them, baby, but its hidden ability is Clear Body, so it's like, you know, that's not bad.
It's already a steel type, so it doesn't really need a really good ability.
It's true. I fucking love Klinklang. That's my boy, baby.
Okay,
that's
so
my guy.
Thoughts redacted about not redacted. Rescinded about Dedenne and Fairy type. It steals cable. We're cool.
Yeah.
I love you, Dedenne.
Oh, that's the best Dedenne headcanon. It steals cable. I love it.
Yeah, I find Fairy type to be interesting. Like, arguably all of these guys could be Fairy type because Fairy is the trickster type, but it's also just the cute fucking Squishmallow type.
The more than it appears
degree.
Type, yeah.
Yeah, and like, of the Pikachus, the cutest and the squishmallowiest is Dedenne. It is the fucking Hamtaro ass.
I think the
looking...
squishmallowist is Togedemaru in shape, but...
Well, maybe,
they're both pretty squishmallow.
But I mean, like, Dedenne's actually squishy. Togedemaru is an iron, is made out of steel.
But Togedemaru is shaped like a squishmallow. You could...
That's fair, yeah. Fuck it, I love Togedemaru. Starring Togedemaru starring Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
I think I ran into the Togedemaru totem fight when I tried one of the times I tried Sun and Moon, but
that was in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, if I remember correctly.
Then I didn't. No, I don't think I've ever fought a Togedemaru.
Yeah, in regular Sun and Moon, it's a Vikavolt totem. But there are a number of Togedemaru you can only catch in one specific area. So it's another situation of like, it doesn't actually show up that prominently. Most Pikaclones honestly don't. Like, you can only catch Pachirisu in one area. You can only catch Pusselinminen in one area. You can only catch Emolga and Dedenne, like Emolga fairly rarely. Dedenne, I think, is also only in one area. Togedemaru is fun and funky. I thought he had, like, physical defense. No, he's a physical attacker. His physical attack is his highest stat. I can't believe how wrong
It's a pretty good one. It's a 98.
I want to pick up Togedemaru and smash someone's face in with it.
Yeah, he's got his
Mr.
special
Fish
move.
style.
Just grab it by the
Yeah,
tail.
he's got his special move, Zing Zap, that's just rock slide basically,
And they gave it to
but
Pikachu
electric
later.
type. Say again?
They gave Zing Zap to Pikachu later, if I recall.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's Pincurchin that gets it.
Oh. Nice. Yeah, if Pikachu got
Yeah,
it with Light Ball and everything, it'd be a nightmare, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it gets Spiky Shield too, which is cute and funny. It's a spiky little guy. He's got Iron Thorns or Lightning Rod. It's like and sturdy is his hidden ability. Honestly, like Electric Steel is just a really good type. Like it's between that and Electric Flying as the best type combo of the Pikaclones. And he's just a very fun guy. I've only used him a couple of times, but I fucking love his face. It's so important. And like if like his little like concept art thing on his Bulbapedia page has him like scrunching up because he's a hedgehog, and it's so good. He's so fucking important. His like tiny little face and his lightning bolt tail, like his lightning rod tail that's like on the back of his head because he's so fucking shaped. I
was going to say he's incredibly shaped, but I'm not sure in a way that I like. Like he's emblematic of the things people complain about for Gen 8 design, ironically. He's kind of a preview of that. Where it's just like a shape with a cartoon face on it.
To a certain degree, yeah. But like he does a lot of fun things with it because he's like a shape that changes shape because he's got his spines.
Funny little spiny ball guy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I find him very fun. He plays a role in the anime as well. It's a female Togedemaru that Sophocles has that has a crush on Pikachu.
Aww.
It's like it's a very cute thing. I find it very interesting. I don't know. There's not a lot to say about Togedemaru because he is very simple and shaped. But I don't know. I need to use him more often. He's a fun guy in my opinion.
So here's something weird I've noticed from the last few Pikaclones. They have a very specific gender ratio. Male 50.2%, female 49.8%.
That's not what Bulbapedia is saying.
That's what Cerebee's saying.
I think Cerebee might just be calculating a little bit too wildly.
Maybe for a couple generations there was a slight rounding error for gender ratio.
That might make sense, yeah. So, I forget a lot of the time that Marpico is always dark type. Like, it's not only dark type.
It doesn't change types, which would be so sick
Yeah,
if it did.
It would be so cool.
It's just its move that changes
Also,
type, which is...
Speaking of Hamtaro...
yeah. I mean, like Dedenne is also a hamster, but like this guy. He's got his pouches and shit.
I wonder how many people in competitive have been tripped up by the it's always dark type.
Well, he doesn't really show up in competitive, but in Draft League he has come up before.
Me using a psychic type move on Morpeko, thinking I'm a genius.
No, it's just like, oh right, I could be using a fighting type move.
What do you mean name-wise it's named after the guinea pig? Okay, fine, whatever.
Oh, that actually kind of makes sense.
Morumoto, guinea pig, and Harapeko, hungry, starving.
Yes, Harapeko. I do know that one. It's he's a muncher, baby. He munches. There's not like it's very funny because he should definitely have cheek pouch, but he can't because he has a special ability instead. Like there's not like he's got his special move that like what does Aura Wheel do? Oh wow, it's like really fucking powerful. I didn't realize how fucking powerful.
110.
I did not know, and boosts your speed. That's wild. I didn't know that. How did I not know that?
Yeah, it's a flame charge too.
Yeah, that's wild.
Wow.
Let's have a look at its stat that it's using Aura Wheel for.
It's highest stat.
Okay.
Yeah, well, besides speed, like it's 95 attack.
I guess people don't
speed.
use it too often because it kind of dies if you look at it too.
It's true. and it's not quite fast enough to outspeed all of the things.
Do you ever think
So
about
it's
all
like,
the Pokemon that would be ludicrous threats if they hadn't banned Baton Pass and like?
oh god, all the time.
Did-
My
is-
guy Rampardos.
Is Baton Pass
my guy-
allowed in VGC?
Yes, but it's not as useful because you don't have as many guys.
Especially
and
in
switching
modern
isn't as
VGC,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, and like because you only use 4 guys, and you have you have half of them out at once, and switching just in general is not something that you do that regularly. Like it's something that you like it's a very calculated
Emergency-based.
decision. Yeah, it's like if you have to. So
According to the Sword and Shield website, the energy in Morpeko's cheeks changes from electric type to dark type when it's in hangry mode.
oh wow,
I-
that's fun.
I don't know
that's
how
like
that
confirmation of type energy.
Me
Like,
when my electricity turns evil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go on a tangent about Pokemon world building and how Aura relates to type energy and how that affects, why Arceus can change type and all of these other, mythos things that I need to re-examine in light of the leaks that, revealed a bunch of shit about, the mythos things. Please note, no, I'm thinking, I got, confused. Morpeko gets Bullet Seed, which is funny as fuck. That's hilarious. Good for him. He gets Bullet Seed, he gets Seed Bomb.
He
It's
went
munchin'.
pack on a bunch of seeds, and now he's spitting out the shells.
Yes, he's fucking munchin'. And then Pomo,
Well,
and Pomo.
before we get off of Morpeko
Yes.
Morpeko is the forefront of Gen 8's really interesting relationship with the Dark type. Team Yell, Piers, Marnie, they're all Dark type, but not in the evil team fashion. They're just like, how to
rockers,
describe it?
basically.
They're disadvantaged punks that are really leaning into the punk aspect of their identity.
It's almost like how in some Stephen King media there will be situations where it's like, here is an evil force that is inherently evil. And then there are these people who are disgruntled or upset or disadvantaged in life, which makes them vulnerable to being manipulated by the evil force. And it feels like in Pokemon, Dark type is either the evil force or the person that's down on their luck and in a shit situation and thus is more abrasive.
Shout out to Team Skull. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, Team Yell is like if Team Skull was a whoopee cushion. We don't got to get into the unfortunate situation with some of the story writing in Sword and Shield. I like Sword and Shield, to be clear. I think that for the most part it does what it is trying to do, but I feel like they could have done the Team Yell thing a lot more in a lot more interesting. Everybody, I'm one of the few people in the planet who does not understand the hype in regards to Marnie. I'm just why?
I was about to say Marnie's the best character in Sword and Shield.
She's okay.
She literally doesn't do anything. She's just there. It's like when you have Hop and Bead as her other rival, as her counterparts. It's she's literally just there, and she stares at
Beat
you
is
when
the
she
best
battles
character
you.
in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, it's like Marnie is cute, and that's literally she doesn't. I can't remember a single thing she says other than to tell her fans to calm down, and what is she? She has guys that are cute. What does she do?
I will say it's very funny that the moment the Marnie costume pieces became available for the players, you started seeing a million fucking Marnie cosplayers in multiplayer.
I get it. She's
everywhere.
cute. Oh my god, calm down.
There were so many I would count the Marnies that I ran into every day.
Yeah, I feel like Bead is a really great character arc that gets neglected because of the weird Marnie obsession some people have. It's here's a character who's being manipulated and sort of groomed, not in the yucky, not in the ew way, but in the, societal way of, he's being manipulated into being a bad person that's haughty and uppity by like this wealthy person. And then he meets a queer elder and learns to be a little gay boy, and everything's great.
Some people would argue that maybe the bad version is happening, but we don't got to talk about that.
I'm sure if you dig far enough in the leaks, someone will make some connection or something.
Yeah. Also, like a lot of people have thoughts about the dynamic between Rose and Leon and that abuse stuff and how it can be taken in various ways. But we don't got to get into that right now. Let's talk about Palmy and Pomo and Palmot, who are an odd design choice.
I don't understand why there's a middle stage to this set.
Yeah, Pomo is unnecessary. I don't really like Palmy. I really like Palmot. Pomo is just pointless. They were filling Pokédex space.
Like, I guess that what they wanted to do, right, was make it, because, like, they wanted it to not suck for, like, ever if you didn't realize that it evolved with the Let's Go feature, and they wanted to give it, like, its secondary type and everything. But they wanted it to evolve with this weird feature also, so they had to, like, give it 3 stages. And I feel like that makes sense to a certain degree. I don't hate that it's 3 stages. I just wish that it didn't look like it was from a fan game that didn't know how to design Pokemon.
The weird thing to me is the color being a lighter orange in the middle stage for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's a thing that other Pokemon have also done, where it's like, oh, we're slightly different. Like, Charmeleon is a slightly different color from Charmander and Charizard
also,
as well.
I hate Palmot so much in Draft League. I hate it so much. I hate it. Awful thing.
Palmot does...
Got your butt kicked, did you?
Yes.
Palmot does a lot of funky, weird shit. It's allowed to be stronger because it's got more evolutions. He's like a kung fu fighting guy, and he's got this thing called Double Shock, which is just... So it's burn up, but it's physical and electric. And it's just really, it just
with its 115 attack stat.
Yeah, so suddenly your ground type move that was going to kick its ass doesn't work anymore, and now
it's faster than a Molga.
It's very fast. It hits you really hard, and then whenever it switches out, it loses any status conditions you gave to it if it has Natural Cure, which it probably does.
Oh wow, I forgot that it had that ability. I'm used to it having Iron Fist.
In a draft format, Iron Fist is a little less like, what's the term for it? Not necessary, but like
essential. And
yes.
also, it casually it gets Revival Blessing, which I find it's very interesting. It's 2 of the guys that evolve from running around get to bring things back from the dead.
They built up a bunch of static electricity, and then they go clear.
But the other one is, well, that's what Palmot does. Rabska is just magic. He's just scarabs are involved with immortality and like life and death in Egyptian mythology. A scarab is what brings Ra back from the dead every morning.
Yeah, they just
when he.
Yeah. Sorry. They decided to make a fucking Pika crew member that is actually statted for competitive use, and I'm...
Yeah, they were like, yeah, sure, let's fucking do this. Oh my god, one of the events, Yoasabi had a Palmot that you could that you could get. That's actually amazing. It's one of the an event that you can get.
It also gets Mach Punch and Fake Out. Fuck off.
Speaking of moves, and speaking of pointless things about the Palmy line, why does it get Nuzzle and then Thunder Wave?
Because they're useful in different situations.
For when you don't want to make contact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I suppose.
If you don't want to deal with iron barbs on something.
Sorry, I'm thinking about
how many things in Gen 9 have iron barbs though?
I'm pretty sure.
There's also Rocky Helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I'm just thinking about Nuzzle
Rough Skin.
and Natural Cure and Double Shock and
It's just like Nuzzle
And
is one of the
volt
most...
switch. It can just volt switch. It can double shock and then volt
And
switch.
fake out.
Yeah.
It's just like Nuzzle is one of the most broken moves in the game, and then they give Thunderwave 17 levels later that's less accurate and doesn't do damage, so it feels weird.
They're useful, again, in different situations.
Yeah.
Nuzzle is for when you get taunted, and Thunderwave is for when you don't want to get hit by Rough Skin.
Yeah, I like Palmot. I think Palmot's a fun design. I think
He's
Palmot
fun.
is...
I like that Nimona uses him. It's fun. Oh my god, wait.
I like it also. I've just been traumatized from it kicking my ass.
It literally does do the fucking clear thing. Like, its entire line is, it rubs its cheeks with its hands and then touches people.
Yes.
I didn't even put that together. But it literally does the fucking... It literally does. That's actually fucking hilarious. It literally is a fucking defibrillator. That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh my fucking god. Okay, so how long
We're
have we been
learning a lot of stuff today.
We are. Okay, so we've been going for just over an hour.
Well, that's good. We
and
covered all of them.
And we've covered every single electric rodent. But there is one other guy. There's one other guy that we should definitely not discuss when discussing people who are playing understudy to Pikachu, which is Teddy, how did you describe it? The guy who breaks his neck sometimes?
It doesn't have a neck,
Oh, God.
He's blue and round and he's got the zigzag tail.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Did we decide we were talking about him? I forgot about Pikablu.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Pikablu some other time. He might not even be real.
Yeah, we'll do a Pokemon myths and legends.
The guy that breaks his neck sometimes,
episode.
right? It's that one weird Pikachu you can run into.
Yeah.
God, I love Mimikyu. Oh my god.
Such a good
Mimikyu is my favorite Pikaclone, and it's not close. I love Mimikyu.
Mimikyu is the Pikaclone. I don't know how to explain this.
I have a Mimikyu plush on my shelf.
I have a Mimikyu plush that my sister made for me by hand on my shelf.
Oh, you're gonna one-up me, huh?
Yes. It's my second favorite Pokemon.
Mimikyu's not only is his design perfect, and not only was he released in such a way that every single person in the community immediately glommed onto him as he deserves, but also he's just good. He's just extremely good.
So good that they had to nerf him.
Like, his ability is fucking busted, literally. He can set up free swords dances. He's actually, bulky, and he's just good. He's got, a really good fucking type, and he has, really good type coverage, because he can use, bug and grass and fighting and all, he can do fucking whatever you want. It's Jesus Christ, he's just good.
Yep. I think that, okay, so for years we'd been getting Pikaclones, right? This was 18 years. When did Sun and Moon come out? 2017? This would have been 21 years into Pokemon's lifespan. Every
2016.
I was ready for you to say 21 years ago, and I was just going to be like, yeah, that sounds about right. We've had how many Pokemon games since then?
We had gotten a Pikaclone in every generation. If you count Pichu, every generation. People were starting to get sick of it, right? People were like, oh, yeah, another Pikaclone. They're just knockoff Temu versions of Pikachu. That was the sentiment. People were like, I'm sick of knockoff Pikachus that are pretending that they're not knockoff Pikachus. And then they gave us a Pokemon that was explicitly, in lore, a knockoff Pikachu, and everybody loved it.
Because that's the lore. It's it just wants to be friends.
It just wants to be friends. It wants to be loved, and it's so cute.
Shout out to the classic Tumblr comic where where an actual Pikachu falls in love with a Mimikyu, and like the Mimikyu has to deal with the fact that like their fucking mating ritual involves evolving together, and it can't do it because it's not a real Pikachu.
Aww.
So it can't fucking use the Thunderstone, and they have to like come clean to each other about not being a Pikachu, and it's like, oh my fucking god, my heart, my soul, I fucking love this creature. He's such a...
I love that it's adorable, but it's also really fucked up. Like,
oh yeah,
if you damage its
just
rag,
a cryptid.
I love the way it's described. It's like, you know, if Mimikyu's rag is broken, it'll spend all night patching it carefully in front of a mirror as if light depends on it. Repairing the rag correctly is often quite difficult for it, so it cries a lot on the inside. It then seeks revenge on the one who damaged it, fearing its true identity could have been exposed. Unforgiving, Mimikyu will take down the culprit at the risk of costing its own life in the process. Mimikyu will never forget the person who damaged its rag for as long as it is still alive.
Oh my god, in Scarlet and Violet, in the Violet disguised form, Mimikyu was only recently identified as a Pokemon. Previously, people just thought it was just a ghost wearing a cloth.
What the fuck do you think a Ghastly is? Are they not?
Well, yeah, but I guess people didn't know what kind of ghost it was. They were just like, what's this weird ghost wearing this cloth?
The Scarlet entry for its busted form. Even as it struggles beneath the cloth to repair the broken neck of its disguise, so I guess it does that, like, in person sometimes, Mimikyu will keep up its impression of a Pikachu.
Oh.
For as long as it lives, Mimikyu will never forget its attacker.
I love this thing. It's so craven and so desperate.
Like, it's just a cryptid. It's just, like, everybody who fucking, like, goes crazy for cryptids, like the appeal of why people go nuts about cryptids, consolidated into one single creature in the Pokemon universe. It's just a fucking weird critter that I love with all my heart.
It's also what I love about fairy types.
Yes, in that also. So shout outs to in Sun and Moon, in the Aether House, which is like this orphanage type situation that the Aether Foundation helps run, where you meet Acerola for the first time. One of her Mimikyu is just hanging out in one of the rooms, and when you talk to it, it says, me curse you. Like, but like, you know, it's like, it's a ghost type, haha. But then I was like,
it's trying to say Pikachu.
It's trying to say Pikachu. Me Pikachu.
Yeah, oh, that's so sad. I love it.
I fucking love this thing.
I'm looking
it's
at
genius.
its Pokedex entries, and I love the specific phrasing of, there will be no forgiveness for any who reveal it was pretending to be Pikachu.
So how do you guys feel about Mimikyu's using other Pokemon disguises?
The best,
Great fan
the
art.
best.
Good stuff.
Every single one is the best. I love it. Fucking cosplayer Pokemon. It's a cryptid that cosplays. It's like, was there anything more designed to immediately shoot every single autistic Pokemon fan in the fucking face? No, there has never been anything more genius than this. It's the most iconic.
Speaking of cosplay, I'm going to paste a couple of pictures from last year's PortCon into our chat of Mimikyu cosplayers. You'll love this.
Excellent. The wonderful content. It's spooky. It's a fairy, so it's like also cute. It's got mascot energy, but it's also like it got a sob story. It's like it's everything. It's the perfect storm of character design in one little critter, and it's got its like fucking weird ass shadowy hands, and it's.
I also love that
so
the
good.
depictions we get of Mimikyu range from, it just wants to be your friend, and it's really shy and sad and lonely, to, oh, this motherfucker wants to kill Pikachu.
Yeah, Team Rocket's Mimikyu, fucking crazy ass bitch.
Like, Team Rocket
And,
doesn't want to kill Pikachu. Team Rocket's Mimikyu wants Pikachu, like, decimated.
It wants to rip him apart.
Yes.
it's a violent little bugger in general, but also like it cares a lot. Like Jesse spends a bunch of time painstakingly repairing his disguise for it in one episode,
Aww.
and it's like
the Sun and Moon
Mimikyu's
anime
like,
is great.
the Sun and Moon anime is so fucking good.
It made me cry, and it wasn't in any episodes about Mimikyu.
Yeah, the Sun and Moon has made me cry multiple times because it has multiple episodes about death.
Oh yeah.
Multiple, like 3. Like there's 3 episodes that I can think of off the top of my head that are about death. There might be more. So I love that Mimikyu can float, but not every Mimikyu does. Like, it's very interesting. It's like, well, this doesn't really help me keep up my disguise, but like, Mimikyu clearly can float. You see it in the Paldea Pokedex, and you see it like one of one of Acerola's Mimikyu in the Sun and Moon anime floats around because it's a little ghost. It's very interesting.
I mean, in the anime, Acerola's Mimikyu is explicitly a ghost of a dead Mimikyu, so don't even get me started on how ghosts of ghost types work.
We're not gonna. Yeah, it's okay. So make that 4 episodes about death because I hadn't thought about that one. The episode about Minior is about death. Mallow has an episode about her mom being
you
dead.
You cannot forget the Herdier episode. Oh, or not the Herdier. What's it called? The big Lillipup.
And yes, and that's the big one.
Yeah.
The big
is that
one.
Herdier or
the
Stoutland?
Stoutland's the big one.
God, the Stoutland episode.
Stoutland and Lytton.
It's not.
That's the one that everybody.
It's not just because the episode was about death. It's because you have to see something that doesn't understand death grapple with death.
Oh, that's heavy.
It's a kid seeing their mentor, like, who's trying to take care of him this whole time and is like going around stealing berries to take care of their elderly mentor, as like their mentor tries to teach them like Fire Fang and everything, and like it teaches them like these techniques and everything, but you can tell that it's just not.
It's on the way out.
Yeah, and like the Ash carries Stoutland on his back to the Pokemon Center because Ash is inhumanly strong, and Ash has to be like, "Is there anything?" And your story has to be like, it's just," and Ash is like, "Oh man, that sucks," and is like, "What can we do for Lytton?" And Kukui, best dad in anime, is like, "You kind of just have to be there for him," and Ash is like, "Got it," and it does his absolute fucking best to be the best boy in all of anything, and I fucking love
the
Ash
most
because
heart-crushing
so
scene is when, like, you know, the Stoutland's in the hospital behind glass, and Lytton is just pawing on the glass from outside the room, crying out over and over, and I'm just like, oh my god!
And they keep they don't ever show. Like they cut to this tree, right, with a few leaves left on it, and like the leaves are slowly like being pulled off by the wind.
Oh, that's
and, like,
good symbolism.
Yeah, and like when the Stout like and Lytton like and Stoutland like leave the Pokemon Center to go off to their den, and then like when Stoutland is gone, Lytton wakes up by itself. And runs around screaming and looking, and the rain starts to fall, and the final leaves get pulled off the tree. They don't show you anything because it's a kid's show, but it's still like, we know what has happened here.
That's rough.
It's a masterpiece. It's wild. And we've seen this Lytton before. The thing about this Lytton is we had not seen why it was going around stealing food, but we had seen it, like, you know, going around being kind of a troublemaker, interacting with Ash's other starter Pokemon and, like, the gang, and, like, helping out occasionally. But we had not really gotten its full story. And so, like, this is when it joins Ash's team. But, like, not until after this whole thing, and, like, Ash being, like, there for it throughout this really difficult thing. And it's like, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That sounds really good.
The Sun and Moon anime is so fucking good. Laura, you don't understand how fucking good the Sun and Moon anime is. So fucking good. It's so fucking good. And, like, the Sun and Moon games are also so fucking good, and you should, I swear to God. Oh my God, if only I had more money. Okay, so, that's, an hour and 20 minutes, just about. Like, it's hard to think, like, fucking Mimikyu's Z move, also. Let's Snuggle Forever. God bless America. That's the fucking best. It's so good. It's so silly. I love it.
What's it do?
So it stretches out its underside and engulfs the opponent, and then does a bunch of cartoon fucking fighting dust clouds, but also like hearts and shit. So it's like play rough, but like with its whole body. It's very funny. Here, let me show you the link.
Beeple Bopple friend time?
Bitbop friend time, yes. And it is play rough. So like it's Team Rocket gets this Z crystal. So you get to see Team Rocket doing the little fucking fairy pose because it's the specialty Z moves still use the like dance to a certain degree of the type that they are, so it's very fun.
Very interesting of them to borrow the haka in that way.
It's very because like Hawaii obviously is not New Zealand, but like the Polynesian vibes are still like there's still connections there. It's actually really cool. And the Hakamo'o line, the Kamo'o, and it is very, very, very cool. I've been reading. I read a. I'm keeping up with this one of many self-insert Pokemon fanfics that are like character journeys across land. And at one point, before
do they search far and wide in any of these?
Yes. In fact, at one point, so this one takes place in Kanto, and she's like, she wants to, she eventually becomes like a dragon master because, we love being overpowered in self-inserts. I love that stuff. But she winds up, like, before the league starts, she's gotten all the gym badges and everything. She's like, I want to go to a faraway place to catch a lot of dragons and some other rare Pokemon. And so she takes her friend, and they go to Kitakami. And she runs into the Kamo'o that you find there, and she does the haka at them, and she she shows her knowledge of like Z moves and stuff, and she gets the Z crystal and everything. And it's like, and the guy who's like been in charge of the place for that long is like, what the heck? Because like she's got a bunch of knowledge that the world doesn't have, because in this setting, Professor Oak died during his journey, so there's no like big Pokemon professor, which is like the main like plot hook, and there's like political stuff, and it's very interesting. But she catches a Mimikyu as well while she's there. But the whole like cultural aspect of the haka plays into her getting a little guy. And it's very interesting, and she eventually like tells Lance, like, because she and Lance develop a rivalry because she catches a Dragonair, and like I'm rambling. We need to wrap this up. I'll continue rambling after we finish the episode. It's a very good fanfic. I recommend it highly. But to those listening, it's called Pokemon Trainer Vicky. The actual like writing quality is a little bit up and down, but it's very enjoyable regardless of that. And like all the ideas in it are very cool, and it's got like shonen training montages, and the character being like super overpowered but still getting their butt whooped at the end to like learn things and like realize their limitations that they still have, and like all of these other cool shit, and like there's always somebody who's stronger than you, and like it's very good. Pokemon Trainer Vicky, highly recommend. Honestly, like there's so many good Pokemon Journey self-insert fics out there that I like. You know, some of them lean too hard into edgy nonsense, but some of them are just Pokemon is good and living in the Pokemon world would be fucking awesome, and that is such a correct vibe. Anyway, yeah, so this has been...
Well, before we stop, I just
yes?
noticed something about Mimikyu.
What we got?
Togedemaru's national dex number is 777. Mimikyu's is 778.
Oh, it comes right after. Oh my god. And it's like the fucking slot. That's so fucking good that they did that. It's so good. That's such good quality. Oh my god, I love that. I love Pokemon. The fucking like Game Freak are weird, but I fucking love them. They do a lot of creative shit. Man, that's so good. So good.
Love
All
Pokemon.
Right. So, this has been the Own Tempo Pokemon podcast. I have been Reader Love. I just spent a whole bunch of time shilling what I would like to shill. So, Lore, go ahead and shill all of your stuff.
Well, I'm Loreweaver, loreweaver-universe.tumblr.com, or twitch.tv/loreweaver15. I make my living currently streaming on Twitch. Patreon.com/Loreweaver streams, or my YouTube channel at Loreweaver. Support my stuff. Help me out. I just lost a big patron. So that's going to hurt for a bit.
And we'll try to get this out in time for it to still be relevant. We'll see how long it takes.
I'm sure we're not going to get me a patron just based on this podcast, but...
Yeah, sorry to all 2 of our viewers who have been waiting for multiple months because we've been busy and we didn't record until just now. Sorry!
So yeah, check out my stuff, check out my YouTube channel, check out my streams, go to my Patreon. That's me.
All right, and Teddy, do you have anything that you would like to shill for?
I didn't make it, but UFO 50 is real damn good. You should buy it. And it's good.
It's true. He's very into that these days. It's a very good.
I haven't played in a few
video.
days, but it's a very good bundle of games for the price. $25 for 50 games. Very good.
Some of them are very large, some of them are very small. There's a very wide variety of different interesting things. I've only seen a few of them, but they all seem very interesting.
I'm really liking Grimstone, which is the devs doing a Final Fantasy 1, which I think is very charming and fun. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I love Final Fantasy 1. And you don't really see people do Final Fantasy 1 anymore. Like, you'll see them do Final Fantasy 4 or Final Fantasy 6, but you never see people ape Final Fantasy 1 or do tributes to it. And I think that's sad.
Mm-hmm. I just like having guides for things, so I would have to, like, wait until there's, like, a distilled strategy guide to play that JRPG. I'm simply not good at figuring things out for myself.
I was delighted when I learned like 10, 15 level ups into the game. Oh, this party member is a blue mage. I didn't notice he had this skill to learn enemy abilities.
Yeah, I would never be able to do that. I'm just a person who likes knowing what's going on. What can I say? All right, so God, I'm forgetting how our outro goes. I know that we shill our stuff, and then do I just say Teddy do the thing, or do we have to say who
the
we all
rule
are
about
first?
podcast outros is have fun and be yourself.
That's true. Good point. Okay, so so I have been Reader Love.
I've been Loreweaver.
And I've been Teddy.
And thank you for listening to this episode of the Own Tempo Pokemon Podcast. Teddy, could you please do the thing?
Oh, sure, yeah. Have fun, stay safe, and be brave enough to be kind.
And get Pokemon.
Get Pokemon.
Get Pokemon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It's a one-hit wonder. Taken down in one shot.